Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from SimpleProgrammer.com. Just finished my workout, a run workout. Only did 4 miles, but I was getting the heart rate up to 190 and holding it there for about half a mile, which is pretty damn tough. So I'm sort of in the phase now where I'm training for a half marathon that I got coming up. So I'm working on speed. Used to be running 40 miles a week. Now it's more like 20, but 10 of those are intervals and fast-paced runs. So, and then one long 10-mile run on Sunday. So anyway, I want to talk about a topic that I was coaching someone on today, and I've discussed this a little bit before. I think I talked about like motivations or base motivations, but I want to talk about this a little bit more because this is something that trips a lot of people up, myself included. Still kind of trying to catch my breath for a while, which is that a lot of times, like, you hear, maybe you go to a motivational speaker, you hear someone like Les Brown. I just heard him at the Thrive conference, and you go to some of these bigger events and stuff, and some of the people that you follow, maybe me to some degree, you hear them talking about kind of big dreams and big motives that they have for their life and purpose, and you start to get down on yourself because you think, gosh, I don't want to feed the world. Like, I don't want to like really help other people. I mean, it's nice to help other people, but that's not my dream. I kind of want to make money. I want to get laid. Like, I want to, like, you come up with those motivations. I want to prove myself, right? I'm angry. I want to take revenge, right? I'm tired of being picked on. I want to prove that I'm good enough, prove to other people I'm good enough, prove to myself I'm good enough. So you got these kind of motivations, and most of us have these motivations, right? But you think of these as kind of the base motivations that are unworthy, right? But that's not really true. See, what it comes down to is that we've all got these kind of base level motivations, and they're base. I say that they're base because they're selfish to some degree, right? They're primal. They're the things that you want. When you don't have oxygen, you want oxygen. When you're hungry, you want food. You don't care about feeding other people. You care about feeding yourself. And so what these arise from is like deficiencies in your own personality and your character, right? Aberrations, if you will, right? In your psychology that cause you to feel like you're not good enough, right? In some way, you're not good enough, and you need to prove to other people, but mostly to yourself, that you are good enough. And when you're trying to prove that, when you've got those kind of motivations, you can't have the higher motivations. It's all fake, right? And so when you see someone that's still hung up on these primitive motivations, the base motivations as I call them, and they're saying that they want to do big things in the world, you see that as duplicitous, because you know that they don't really mean it. They want to mean it, right? Like, you may want to mean it. You may want to mean, some of the big things like curing hunger. Or what I'm telling you today, again, I may be repeating it, but it's worth repeating because so many people are hung up on this, and I found this in myself. And part of the thing I'm doing here on this channel, if you haven't noticed, is I'm breaking through these weaknesses. I'm breaking through these base motivations and finding the larger ones. And when you see someone with a larger scope, a larger platform, and a larger motivation, and they're not duplicitous, they've done this. They've done some inner work. They've learned how to accept and love themselves. They've learned how to overcome their deficiencies and weaknesses, or at least accept them where they can't, and to move on. And that lets them have a bigger motivation, have a bigger motive to try and help others, to have a bigger cause that they're behind. So the key is to identify these things, right? And they're hard to face because, like I said, they're selfish, they're embarrassing. You don't want to say that, that your motivation, that you want to make money, is because you want to finally prove to your dad that you're worth it, that you're worthy, right? That you can do something, that you're not a fuck up, right? Because you want to earn his love, maybe, right? Or that you've been rejected, right? A lot of you guys here on the channel, I know, because you send me emails, you've been rejected all your life by women. You're afraid, you're shy. You want to prove to the world that you are just as good as those other guys, that you can do it, right? And some of you want to get revenge. Some of you have been mistreated, and you got to acknowledge those things, right? And you got to get past them. And the only way you're going to get past them, first of all, use them to fuel you. Use them, and sometimes the dark side has its uses, right? So these are not the best things, but those are things that really got to fuel you. Some of the things in my life that really kicked me in the butt. The reason why I started getting fitness, I started working out, and started busting my ass, because I was tired. I was so fucking tired of being picked on. I was so fucking tired of being the odd man out, of feeling like I'm not good enough, like I'm not adequate, like I'm the only guy that, doesn't have a, date and stuff like that, right? It's even hard to say, right? because, you know, it was a while ago, but those were some things that motivated me. And it's good. It was good that they motivated me. It's not the right motivation to have to sustain you, and it won't make you happy and fulfilled. Honestly, like when you fulfill these motivations, right, and you do achieve the goals from them, they're going to be empty. The goals are going to be empty, but you'll have gotten past something. You'll have realized that thing wasn't important, that motivation, that was just an illusion, that it was all in your head in the first place, and that you didn't have to prove anything, you didn't have to do anything in order to get rid of that perception. You could change that perception at will, but you won't discover that until you actually use that fuel to get you where you want to go. And once you do discover that, then your mind will be open, then you'll have the opportunity to look for a bigger motivation. You'll feel it. It won't even be forced upon you, because it's like the whole thing with the airplane, right? You gotta put the oxygen mask on yourself before you try to help someone else. It's the same thing there. If you're dying, if you need oxygen, right, and you're not going to be very motivated as much as you want to, you know, put others first and be selfish. You're not going to be motivated to do it because you're gasping for air. So you fix that. You fix your own air supply, and then you can see, then you'll feel like helping someone else. It won't be something that you force. It won't be something that you feel obligated to do. It won't be something that you feel expected, right? That you've got to have this bigger motivation to make money. Let the greed be it. Fine, that's fine. Let it be that. Let it be that you're trying to prove something, or that you're angry at the world, or that you're, right? But go recognize it. Recognize that this is what you're trying to do. You know, me, myself, there have been plenty of times that I had to recognize that what I was trying to do was I was trying to prove something. And I was trying to prove something to myself. And once I realized that, you know, once I overcame certain fears and I started doing what I needed to do, and I did prove that to myself, I realized that that's it. I don't need to do that anymore. Now I can move on. Now I can do the next thing. And now the next motivation opened up. It's like an onion, right? You gotta, and so many people want to skip. They want to skip because they feel like they should purge these bad thoughts out of their head, that they're not worthy, that, you know, they have to have a greater cause, and that so many people do, and they fake it. And, you know, I've done videos on fake it till you make it. This is kind of an embarrassing video, but I've done those videos, and I've said that, but it means something different. Fake it till you make it is about becoming the person who you want to be and walking in those shoes, right? That's different than faking a motive, faking a purpose, pretending like you care when you don't. People know it. They know authenticity. They know genuity, right? They know transparency, and they can see right through you, okay? And so you can't. You got to stick wherever you are. That's where you are right now. Accept it. It's fine. Go and do what you got to do. Use that motivation to get you forward. When you get there, recognize that that's what took you there, and that was a deficiency and weakness, and say, is that enough? Have you proved it yet? Have you cured it? And you got to find a point where you say, yeah, all right, that's it. I can't actually prove it. Doing something in the physical world doesn't actually prove anything. It's all a mental state anyway. But sometimes you got to see it to the end. So go ahead, see it to the end. Have those base desires, base motives. Let them play out. Let them lead you to success. Don't wait for the big wave. Once you do that, once you get successful, once you have some success, then the next one will come. As you cure those aberrations, as your psychology improves, as your character improves, as you grow inside, right? Internally focused. Getting that inner self to be stronger is what's going to allow you to free yourself to have the bigger thoughts, the grander dreams, the grander ideas. And I'll challenge you, right? Look at people that do have these things, that are doing these big things in the world, and see that they've already fulfilled most of these base desires. And there's going to be areas where you don't conquer them, right? There's still areas every day where I find something that I'm like, wow, that's interesting. My motivation here it's really low. It's really slimy, right? I mean, but I recognize it. I say, okay, that's interesting. What's it going to take to purge this? What's it going to take to get rid of this, to make myself feel worthy in this area? Is that I'm going to have to do something? I have to prove something? Normally it's something you do internally. It's a decision that you make. It's not really an outward, it expresses itself outward, but it's a decision that you make. Overcoming a fear is usually the biggest thing, right? Almost all the time it comes down to overcoming a fear. So go and find that out, and don't worry about it. Just move on. And yeah, that's all I got for you today. So anyway, if you like this video, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you click the subscribe button below, and click the bell so you don't miss any videos. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.